we have a serious image problem. Welcome back to Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man Jay, and today we are going to discuss the black man's image. Here in America and many other Western civilized countries, the black male image is in critical condition. It is in critical condition. And I would like this video to serve as an introduction to a multi-part series addressing the black male image. What really is going on here, right? What's going on here is that you have an image being projected in the media that is the dominant image of the black man. And I say image in its singular form, but this image is comprised of multiple images that create the totality of how the world perceives us, how we perceive ourselves, and how the world as a whole perceives us and how we perceive ourselves is really negative. When people think about the black man, the average black man, it is almost with a tint of disdain, and that's throughout all the races. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are white, if you are Asian, if you are um, you know Indian, African. It really doesn't matter. Even amongst our own people, when we first get a thought of the black man, it is almost always has a negative tint to it. And really it's going to be up to us to change our image. It is very, 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 very important that we change our image. It is critical that we change our image. Image is a very powerful thing. So this video, we're gonna get this out the way early. This video is sponsored by Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 19 and verse 30. That's Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 19 and verse 30. And that verse, it really hits home because in the verse it tells you that the way a man dresses, the way he speaks or acts or what he reacts to, and the way he walks, it really tells what he is at his core. And you can really dial down into that scripture and see that, hey man, when you compare it to our everyday lives, we have a problem. Number one, I want to point out that we are the only community, uh, well known, let's say that mainstream community, that is ran by women. No other subgroup of mainstream nationalities or races are run by women. When you think of the black community and you think of who is in charge and who is out in front and who is um, making more progress and who has the most influence on how that community operates, it's almost always going to be the black woman. You don't find that in any other race. That projects a lack of capability. Really capable and competent men. That screams out that as a community, we do not have enough capable and competent men. Now, are there capable and competent men amongst us? Of course they are. But we are talking about the image, the mainstream image, and how we can turn that image more into our favor. So we need more brothers who are competent and capable to step up and be examples of that. We are the most disrespected group of people in the world. Now, I know they'll say, well, it's the black woman, but it is actually not the black woman. It is the black man. He is really, he has no respect. And the reason he has no respect is because everything we want, everything, I don't, you name it, We have to go get it from another group of people. And when you are dependent on uh, others so much, it just stifles the respect that people can have for you. It just stifles the respect that people can have for you, and that just ties into, again, our women running the community. They have more easily accessible resources than we do, and because of that, we find ourselves not even able to lead our own households. It drops us down on the lowest of the totem pole. And when you really think about it, even in the dating market, the the respect that you get for dating another race, okay, is more prevalent than another race dating you. Okay, and that's just reflective of our position in the world. It doesn't mean that these people are better than us. It doesn't mean that um, we are somehow inferior. It is just a reflection of our position in the earth. Okay, and I know this is a hard topic and you don't want to hear it, but it is the truth. And there's going to be naysayers and try to say, "Oh, this one over here and that one over here." And again, we are not talking about exceptions. We are not talking about these singular people. We talking about if you group up the millions of us, this is our condition. We are not in control of our emotions. Men need to be more thoughtful about what their actions are, regardless of how they feel, and that comes from good male leadership that we lack. So you're going to notice that all of these things tie into one another. Uh, Other thing, dress code. Our dress code. And I'm not saying you need to dress a certain way. What I'm saying is, it's a lot of times you'll see that black men, especially younger black men, they don't know what proper attire is for the event or the occasion. They will wear the same thing at every occasion. I mean, it's to the point, even when I was younger too, getting dressed up. If it was like business, or what am I trying to say? Formal wear, we would wear some khakis and a button up and some Timberland boots and call that formal wear, right? So we really have to understand what dress codes are, what is appropriate in what places. Even in places of employment, you know, you'll see black men altering the work uniform or the work dress code to kind of put our flavor on it. And there's nothing wrong with that because we pack a lot of flavor, right? But we got to understand that that comes across a certain way, and we need to know what our dress code is saying at all times. I don't care if you're at Walmart or if you're at the corporate office or if you are on the construction site or at the park with your family. It doesn't really matter. You need to be conscious of what you're wearing and what message that projects out to the rest of the world. Okay, because quite frankly, there is no capable, competent men walking around with their pants below their behind. It's just not. We avoid leadership, and I've seen this personally when you go on jobs and it might be a position open for management or something like that. Black men will be hesitant to go into that role, and they'll be hesitant to go into that role for a multitude of reasons that I won't start listing now. Like I said, this is an introductory video, but what we need to do is we need to push those certain fears, doubts, and skepticisms aside, and then take on those positions and try to leverage those positions to make the overall um, image of us collectively rise up. And even if the position don't work out, you learn something and you take what you learn and you move on. A lot of times we are outside of the opportunity because we don't know the game plan of leadership. We don't understand the structure of power structures and organizations, and it really holds us back. It holds us back and it holds us back because this ties into the next thing. We don't partnership, we don't know how to work with one another, and the reason we don't know how to work with one another is because we are not in roles of leadership that you have to go through a power structure to complete task and to elevate companies and to elevate organizations and bodies of people. So we got to, that avoiding of the leadership, it really reflects negatively on our image. It keeps you outside of the opportunity of actually creating opportunities for other people when you're outside of leadership. We all know that many of our opportunities came from who we know, and the more power positions that we uh, place ourselves in, or not even power positions, well, they are power, but the positions that make the decisions. The more of us are in the positions that make the decisions, the more we can increase our presence and really showcase that we are capable and competent to ourselves, to our families, and to the rest of the world. Because we come from such a divided community, and our households are even broken. We don't even see we don't even see in our households the adults working together for one common goal. So when a lot of us come from that background, it's hard to have a grasp of the basic concept of I need to work with my brother, I need to work with my sister in order to, you know, advance in the society. Okay, there's a saying that there's a saying, especially in business, y- you cannot you you cannot get to where you want to get by yourself. You're going to need other people. And when we look at other communities of people, they utilize one another, they utilize their families, even in the most disagreeable circumstances. They understand that, hey, we need to really link up and put those differences aside to move forward. We don't have any order. There is no order. It's whatever. It's like we treat everything like the family barbecue. And if there is order, if you tell somebody they're doing something wrong or a disciplinary action has to come in place, then it's just the other person, they can't take it. They don't know how to take it. They don't know how to stay in a place. We don't know how to play our positions until we are no longer in that position and we're in another position. Everybody want to be the HNIC, and that really cripples our image. We need to reclaim control of our image, and that way we can shape our masculinity and take care of some of these issues that lay before us, right? But how do we do that? That's what we intend to answer in this series. How do we actually get there? How do we make that progress? Okay, what is an action step? Because we don't want to we who needs to hear what we doing wrong, right? Or what we not doing. We need to know the solutions. But at the same time, once we know the solutions, and the solutions have been out there for years, it just takes a little diving into, and I mean a very little. We need to take action. How do we apply that? It must be an application process. It's good to know information, but how do you actually apply it in real time? And then you know building that legacy of change, because you got to understand that depending on where you are in your life, if you say, yeah, man, this is something that I see a problem with too, and we do need to change our image. If you 50, 60, 70, you may not see the fruits of that labor. If you 40, you may not see the fruits of that labor. If you are 20, 30, maybe you may see the fruits of that labor. But it's really about the legacy that we leave behind, and showing those who come behind us that it is really important to shape up our image. Image is it is terribly, terribly important, and really time is of the essence. We have wasted so much time. We've wasted too much time. Okay, we don't have any more time to waste. If you look at the trajectory of how the world is going, where the resources are going, how much it is costing to sustain a living out here, the advances in AI technology, the advances in science, the advances in medicine, if we are continuously out of the loop of those things because one of the things that is keeping us out of the loop is our image, then we're going to find ourselves in a bad way in the next decade, 2 decades, half a century. And that's no bueno. Those are the things that we're going to try to cover in this series. So I hope y'all stick with me here. Thank you once again for joining us here on Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man Jay, and I catch you next time in the book club.